So how does the advisory committee present that information to the legal body that needs to have it? What form or fashion does that take when the advisory committee has formulated information that they want to pass on?
What happens normally is when the committee considers something, then we'll take a consensus vote on that item, and then basically the majority of the people votes, then that will be the recommendation of that committee. But again, it's just advisory to...
So it comes out as a recommendation?
It comes out only as a recommendation.
Thank you.
Okay? It's not binding on either TALB or CSCA or the district. I think with respect to the process, the last point that I want to make is that when issues come to you all, employees come and complain or they come to staff, they're complaining about the district administration, the district not administering the program rightly or appropriately. They don't look to CSCA, they don't look to TALB, they look to the district. And so we assume that responsibility rightly. But in order to assume that responsibility, I believe we need the tools to be able to administer our administrative functions. And I believe that would mean that we have the right to select the vendors that we want to work with. We don't normally take things out of the committee, but because of the time issues, this particular item did not go through the HBC. However, the HBC clearly knew this is what we were going to do. We said why we were going to do it, and this is what we're going to do. So to the extent, as our past has indicated, we will absolutely take things through the HBC for their review, for their input, but we have to reserve the right to be able to administer the program to the best of our ability since we're held accountable for that.
Can you tell me, Kemba, I mean, let's bottom line it. Why did the district decide to go again to ignore the advisory committee?
Well, I'm not sure when you say ignore the advisory committee.
Refuse the recommendation of the advisory committee in regards to the fringe benefits management company.
Well, the advisory committee did not make a recommendation. I think what you're hearing today is a complaint from them that they weren't involved in the process.
And why was that?
Because there was not enough time. Our program renews on 1/1/07. It's a calendar year program. And the current model that we have is not efficient or effective. We need a very efficient and effective model.
Model of what? A model of what?
Administration. We have, for example, there was about $56,530 left on the table in 2005. People forfeited that amount of money. And that's about 234 people. That shouldn't happen. We need an effective model so that people are informed, so that communication goes out to people, so that they are aware that they have money on the table, so that we can spend, so that we can let them know so they can spend it. That doesn't happen with our current model. The communication is very lacking, and so we need to make sure FBMC has a strong communication.
So what you're saying, if I understand correctly, is that the $56,000 that's been left on the table, that's the reason for making this move. And when you say left on the table, you mean folks invested their pre-tax dollars in the 125 plan and they ended up not using it as they probably should have had they planned more effectively. What I don't understand is how would a move to a company that has less access to counseling on, if that's the case,
right,
how is that going to help the problem?
I'm wondering if I could maybe finish my points, and some of the stuff may come out, and then
sure,
if it doesn't, then maybe I can address it.
Sure.
Okay, so that, I spoke to the issue as to the process. Why are we recommending FBMC? Employees and staff have complained about the services of American Fidelity, and we believe that the complaints are mostly driven by the process that American Fidelity has. We believe that FBMC has the most efficient and effective model of the 3 finalists that we interviewed. FBMC has agreed to meet our open enrollment guidelines. There should be no transition problems because American Fidelity legally has to handle the claims for 2006. So it's a great great point to divide. As of 1/1 on, the new company, should you approve it, would handle the administration of claims forward. American Fidelity would continue to handle the '06 claims through the run-out period, through the grace period. American Fidelity, or FMBC, does not mix voluntary products the way American Fidelity does. All FBMC will do for us, if you approve this contract, is to administer the FSA. They're not going to try and sell any other product. All they're going to do, so there's no other interest for them in that respect. American Fidelity will not, they clearly indicated to us, they will not administer the FSA without an opportunity to sell their products. Allowing American Fidelity, a captive audience, to sell their products prohibits, I believe, equal access for all companies. It excludes, for example, the TALB-endorsed companies and any other companies that want to sell to our employees. If we give American Fidelity that sort of captive access. And also implicit in that is that we are endorsing these American Fidelity voluntary products, and we're not. They're not products we review, they're not products we underwrite, they're not products we sponsor. And I think to the extent that we give American Fidelity this access, we endorse their products. FBMC has a wonderful administration and technology. I'm not sure what the other comment was about, but they service 15 of the 100 largest school districts in the state. They service the state of California. All of their systems are proprietary. They own their own software. They own their own, for example, the debit card administration. They own that debit card technology. They have 40 IT staff on staff, so they have a lot of technology. They can enroll online. You can enroll via the IVR. You can enroll via customer service. American Fidelity will only allow us to enroll if they're allowed to visit our sites and to people make a personal appointment. You have to understand, let me put this in context for you. We have 8,500 people who are eligible to participate in an FSA. It is extraordinarily unrealistic to believe that you're going to have 8,500 people make an appointment to see representatives to talk about a Section 125. It's not an efficient or an effective model to run. American Fidelity suggested during this short open enrollment period that we allow them access to 15 of our sites so they can make appointments, and then on an ongoing basis make available 60 to 75% of our sites. That is extraordinarily unrealistic and probably not attainable to have that many sites available and to limit people's access only to personal appointments. Let's see.
But does the other company have personal appointments?
The other company does not have personal appointments, and I think that's problematic to have personal appointments because we're not giving tax advice. We want to be careful not to give tax advice. We need to explain the materials very carefully in our brochures, and there's customer service to explain and give examples. But when you start meeting with people one-on-one, the closer you get to that, the closer it becomes more of a personal tax advisor. And I think the district puts itself in a very perilous position if we were to do that.
Doesn't that company provide that same advice over the phone?
They do provide advice over the phone, but when you're sitting down with an American Fidelity rep and you're sitting down talking about how much should I put in here, well, I've got to put this money in this plan, I've got to put this money in this plan, I think you're doing a little bit more than offering, than assisting a person with a FSA plan. And so I'm saying that I believe that the lines can easily be blurred by that personal connection.